He didn't plan to ask his father anything that day. In fact, he hadn't planned to speak to him at all. They weren't the kind of father and son who talked much, not unless it was necessary. But that morning, after a night of strange dreams and a quiet kind of heaviness in his chest, he sat across from his father and just started. He asked his father what it actually means to be a man. His father simply said, "Being a man means no one's coming to save you, and you stop waiting like they will. It means learning how to take a punch, not just physically, but in your pride, your plans, your peace, and not whining about it. It means getting used to being misunderstood, because most people aren't even listening, they're just waiting for their turn to talk. It means you kill the boy in you with your own hands, before the world does it slower and messier. You don't chase happiness. You don't chase anyone. You build your life like a bunker, and you let people earn the key. You shut your mouth when you want to scream, and you scream when it's time to tear the roof off. You get your ass up, you show up. You suffer without turning soft, and win without becoming a goddamn narcissist. You stop asking for permission to exist. And you learn that strength isn't what people see. It's what you do when no one's looking." He asked his father what most men waste their lives on. His father met his gaze and said, "Most men fritter away their lives caught in a loop, waiting, hoping the winds will shift without lifting a finger themselves. They drown in worries over what could go wrong or how others will judge them, stuck wishing things might change, but never daring to push the first step. Change doesn't happen until you want it enough that excuses fall away and action becomes the only option. No one's coming to hand it to you. The only way out is through." He asked his father, "What should I do if I feel like I'm falling behind in life?" His father simply said, "To fall behind, my son, is to be lost among the shadows of men who chase everything and grasp nothing. Life does not grant us equal steps, nor does it ask for equal measure. You cannot, no, you must not stretch yourself thin over 1,000 futile desires. There is a single hill upon which a man must plant his flag and defend it with the stubbornness of a soul condemned to fight for meaning in a meaningless world. To choose this hill is to accept all loss besides it, to sacrifice all lesser battles to that one fierce flame inside you that refuses to die. Without such a hill, a man drifts, a leaf in a storm, lost, desperate, and broken. But with it, he gains a terrible clarity, a purpose sharpened by sacrifice and the weight of all that he has cast away. So fall behind, if you must, but never fall from that hill where your spirit stands or dies." He asked his father, "What's a mistake I'm about to make that you've already made?" His father said, "There is a mistake all men make. It is the cruel folly of believing that time is endless, that tomorrow holds salvation, that the weight of consequence can always be lifted later. I've walked that path, delaying truths, ignoring the small betrayals of my own soul, trusting in the mercy of chance. But chance is a pitiless master. The mistake you are about to make is thinking you can postpone the reckoning, that there will be another day to confess, to change, to reclaim what slips through your fingers now. Beware, for the longer you wait, the more distant becomes the man you once hoped to be, and the harder it is to hear the quiet voice inside that still calls you home." He asked his father, "What kind of mistakes are unforgivable?" His father said, "Unforgivable mistakes are not the ones carved by ignorance or weakness, but those born from a deliberate fracture of trust, when a man turns his hand against the very souls that believed in him. It is the betrayal that severs the fragile threads binding us to each other, the silent crime that poisons a well too deep to ever be cleansed. To break a sacred promise, to wield another's pain as a weapon, or to abandon those who stood when all else fell, these are the stains that no repentance can fully wash away. Such sins linger in a man's soul, not because others refuse forgiveness, but because he himself can never forgive the man he became in that moment." He asked his father, "Why do people change when money gets involved?" His father said, "Because money doesn't change people, it reveals them. It peels back the mask. It shows you what a man really values when he no longer has to pretend. You give a man comfort, and he will tell you who he is by what he reaches for next. Some grow louder, others colder. Some become generous, but only when eyes are watching. Most grow afraid of losing it, even before they've earned it. Money breeds hunger, not peace. It sharpens envy among friends and waters the rot in families. It turns favors into debts and love into leverage. Watch closely, son. Not how people act when they're poor, but what they become when they no longer need anything from you." He asked his father, "When is it okay to be selfish?" His father said, "It is okay to be selfish when your soul is on the edge and no one notices. When giving more would mean bleeding out for people who bring nothing but silence to your suffering. There comes a point, son, when selflessness turns into slow suicide. When the constant giving, the constant bending, makes you a ghost in your own life. It is not a sin to choose yourself when the world has taught you to disappear. Be selfish when your peace is under siege, when your boundaries are treated like suggestions, when your time is swallowed by people who would never sacrifice theirs for you. This world will applaud you for breaking yourself to serve others, but it won't help you put the pieces back together." He asked his father, "What's one thing I'll only understand when I'm your age?" His father said, "You'll only understand when you're my age how little most things actually matter. The arguments, the pride, the chasing, the proving, it all feels urgent when you're young. You think every setback is the end, every win is a throne. But years wear things down, and when enough time passes, you start to see what's real. You stop needing to be right all the time. You let people leave without chasing them. You will learn that peace is more valuable than being admired. When you're my age, son, you'll look back and realize you didn't need more achievements. You needed more clarity, and the things you ran from were the things trying to save you all along." He asked his father, "How do I know if I'm choosing the right woman?" His father said, "The right woman is the one you're a little afraid to lose because she sees right through your bullshit and still stays. You don't choose her because she makes you feel good. You choose her because she makes you honest. She doesn't let you get away with your own lies. She doesn't shrink when you raise your voice, and she doesn't clap for you when you've done the bare minimum. You'll feel it, this tension between wanting to run and wanting to be better. That's how you know. Not butterflies, not lust, not peace, pressure, but the kind that makes diamonds, not ash. Most men choose comfort. Then years later, they look across the table and realize they're married to a mirror that flatters them, not a fire that forged them. Don't make that mistake. Choose the one who's not impressed by who you are now, but interested in who you could be if you grew the hell up." And that was it. If you've got a father, ask him now. If you don't, listen twice. And if this hit somewhere, subscribe. There's more coming.